Hello guys and welcome back to Dimension 3D. Today we are going to model this gun inside Blender, and you can also download this model for free. I have given the link below in the description, so check it out. And now let's get the tutorial started. So first let's bring up the reference image here. You can get this reference image from the link given below in the description. Now I will take a cylinder first and start the modeling from the muzzle here. So just match it with the reference here. I will take a edge loop here and add a bevel to it, and then go into face mode and extrude it along the normals. Make sure you apply the scale first and then extrude it. Let's take a cube and make this part here. If you see in the reference image here, it's curved on the bottom here. So instead of taking a cube, I will take a cylinder here and then rotate it to 90 degree and scale it down and place it here. Delete half of the faces. Now just scale it and match it with the reference image. Now select this edges here and extrude it along the Z axis. And on the upper side it is curved as well. So I will duplicate this mesh and scale it -1 on the Z axis. And I will join these two using Ctrl J. Now I'll just merge these vertices here. And also I will recalculate the normals here. Now I will apply the solidify modifier onto it. Make sure you apply the scale. I will select this part and select these vertices and move it here. Now let's make this top part here. So I will take a cube here and start matching it with the reference image. I will take a edge loop in here and move this vertex here. Now select this face and extrude it just to match it with the reference image. And I will take a one more edge loop here and I will just move this vertex here so that we can make that cut later. and I will do the same on here as well. If you want, you can add more edge loops here to make that cut even smoother. Now I will go into the top view here and bring up the reference image again, and this time I will match it with the top view. And you can see here that it will scale down a bit on the y-axis. So now it's looking good. Now I will select these faces here, and then extrude them along the normals. And now scale it on the y-axis a bit, and I will have to scale the whole mesh a bit on the y-axis as well. And I will select this face and extrude it on the z-axis as well, and then scale it on the y-axis a bit. And I will add an edge loop in between here, and then select this vertex and move it out. Now let's adjust these vertices according to the reference image. Now let's make this part here. So I will take a cube and again match it with the reference. I will add edge loop in here and another edge loop here. Then go into vertex mode and just adjust these vertices according to the reference image. Now go on to face mode here and select these faces here. First I will scale it on the Y axis here. Now select these faces and then extrude and scale it on the Y axis. Now I will take another cube here and just match it with this part here. I will take a edge loop in here and another edge loop here as well. Now I will take some edge loops in between and then go on to edge mode and then bevel them, and then go on to face mode and then press Ctrl I to invert the selection here and deselect these faces here, and then just delete these faces. And I will scale it on the Y axis to match it with the reference image. Now I will just take a edge loop in between here and then match this part. And here you can see these faces are deleted as well, so I will just fill these areas here. And I am not going to do this whole thing while recording, so see you after this is complete. So I have filled all the areas here. So now let's get on to the next part here. I will take a cylinder here and rotate it to 90 degree and then again match it with the reference here. I will come back to this part here and I will select these vertices here and scale them down. And then match it with the reference again. Just scale them down to fit it around that cylinder. And I will select these vertices and snap it here. Now do the same with these vertices as well. And I will take the knife tool here and hold C to make a cut through here. Now select these vertices and scale it on the Y axis Now go to edge mode here and then select these two edges here and then bevel it. Now come back to this cylinder here and select this face, make an insert here and then extrude it inside. I will select these vertices here and scale them on the y-axis a bit more. So now I will take another cube here and start modeling this part here. And now I will scale it on the y-axis to match it with the reference. Now coming back to this part, there is no gap in between here. So what I will do is, I will just bridge these faces here and fill the gaps. Now I will add two edge loops here. And then select these edges here and add a bevel to it. Now go on to face mode and select these faces here and extrude it along the normals. Make sure you apply the scale first. I will just extrude and scale it on the y-axis here. And then select these faces here and move it inside. Now select this face here and apply an insert here and extrude it inside as well. And I will take one more edge loop here and select these vertices here and move it up. Now go on to edge mode and select this edge here and add a bevel to it. Make sure you apply the scale here. Then go on to face mode and extrude it. Just extrude it along the X axis and then adjust these faces. And I will apply a mirror modifier here just to even out the symmetry here. And I will select these vertices here and move it up as well. And then add a bevel to it and then go on to face mode and extrude it again. Now select these two edges here and add a bevel to it. And select this inner face here, go on to edge mode and add a bevel to it as well. And I will do the same on this part as well. Now I will apply a bevel on this edge here. And I will also select these edges here and add a bevel to it. And this part will be filled as well, so I will just fill these areas. Now let's make this part here. So I will take a cube here and start matching it with the reference image. Now I will take a edge loop in here. Now select these faces here and extrude it and match it with the reference image. And I will go on to the top view here and scale it on the Y axis to match it with the reference. Now select these faces here and scale them on the Y axis as well. And now I will select this vertex here and bevel it. And I will extrude this face out as well. I will select these edges here and make it sharp. Now take another cube here and just model this inner part here. I will go on to the top view here and scale it on the Y axis. Now here you can see there is a cut in this part. So what I will do is I will add edge loop here and then select these faces and delete it. And delete this face as well. Now select these two edges here and press F to bridge them, and select these edge loops here and press F to fill the hole. Now I will add one more edge loop here. I will turn on the wireframe here to see it more clearly. And I will add one more edge loop here as well. Now I will just delete this face here. And I will just fill the holes there by selecting the edges and pressing F. Now select these faces here and scale them on the Y axis a bit. Now let's continue with this part here. So I will add one more edge loop here and then select these faces and extrude it out and match it to the reference image. Now select this face here and extrude it down and then scale it on the X axis. And now scale this on the Y axis as well. Now select this face here and extrude it and scale it and move it outside a bit and then extrude it again. Now coming back to this part, I will select these faces and extrude it down. And I will take one edge loop here and I will move these vertices here so that I can select these faces here. I will just hide this part for now. Now select these vertices here and match it with the reference image. Now I will take a cylinder here and reduce its segment to 16 and rotate it to 90 degree here. Delete half of the faces here. And now just match it with the reference here. Now I'll delete this face first and then join these two meshes here using Ctrl J and then join these vertices here. Now select this edge loop here and press F to fill the hole. Now I'll just duplicate this part using Shift D and move it here. And first delete this inside face and then merge these vertices. Now just match it with the reference image. Let's make this part here. So I will be taking a cylinder here and rotate it to 90 degree and delete half of the faces here and select the vertices here and move it here. And now select this edge here and extrude it on the Z axis and match it with the reference. Now take a edge loop here and I will scale it on the X axis to 0 to make it straight, and I will take another edge loop here. Now I can delete this face here and I will apply a mirror modifier here. Now select these edges here and press F to bridge them, and select this edge loop here and press F to fill the hole. And do the same on this side as well, and make sure you join these vertices here using J. Now select this edge here and make it sharp. Now I will take another cylinder here and delete half of it and match it with this part. And again select these edges here and extrude it on the Z axis and match it with the reference. Now select these edges here and bridge them and fill this hole and make sure you join these vertices. Now select these faces here and go into edge mode. Deselect these edges here and bevel it. Now I will take one edge loop here and scale it on the x-axis to 0 to make it straight, and another edge loop here as well and scale it on the x-axis to 0 to make it straight as well. Now I will take 5 more edge loops in between and then select these edge loops here and bevel them. Now go on to vertex mode and select these vertices first and slide them down using Shift V. Now select these faces here and then extrude them along the normals. Make sure you apply the scale first and then extrude them. Now go to edge mode again and select these edges here. And apply a bevel to them. So now if I apply a subdivision modifier here, it will look like this. And now I have to bevel these edges here. So go on to edge mode and select these edges. Make sure you select all the edges carefully and then apply a bevel to them. So we have got the shape that we needed. Now let's make this part here. So I will be taking a cylinder again and rotating it to 90 degree and match it with the reference. Now select these faces here. First apply the scale and make an insert here and then extrude it outside to match it with the reference image. And I will make this part separately. So I will take another cylinder here and increase its vertices to 48 and then rotate it on the x-axis and match it with the reference image. Now go on to face mode and make sure you apply the scale first and then insert it and then extrude it outside and scale it a bit to match it with the reference image. Now let's make these cuts here. So I will take a edge loop first on here and here, and then I will select these vertices and rotate it on the x-axis. So we will get these faces here. Now select these faces here. But before selecting the faces here, I will select this vertex and slide it down. I will take a edge loop in between and slide this vertex here. So now I have got that shape there. Now I will select these faces here and extrude it along the normals, and then increase the selection here using Ctrl plus, and then invert the selection and delete the faces, and I will be deleting this face as well. Now just duplicate it and rotate it on the x-axis, and then press Shift R to repeat the duplication here. Now select all the pieces here and press Ctrl J to join them, and then just merge these vertices. So I will be doing this part of the recording here. So see you after this is completed. So as you can see, I have merged all the vertices here. Now select this edge loop here, and you can see here it's not a perfect circle. So for that, go on to preferences first, and then add-ons, and then search here for loop tools and make sure you turn that on. Now while selecting the edge, right click on it and then go on to loop tools here and select circle. And I have missed one vertex here, so I'll just merge it first. And now I will just circleize it. Now I will select this edge loop here and press F to fill the hole, and then make an insert and extrude it outside just as we did before. Apply the scale and apply a bevel to it. And also apply a bevel in here as well. And I will select this edge loop here and press F to fill the hole as well and apply a bevel to it as well. Now select these edges here and then go on to select similar and then face angles. So all the edges will be selected with similar face angles. Just make sure all of them are selected and then apply a bevel to it. Now if I apply a subdivision modifier here, it will be looking like this. But in the reference image, you can see it's a different shape. So I will just add a supporting edge loop here. And now if I turn on the subdivision modifier, it will look exactly like the reference image. I have missed one edge out here, so I'll just go back and bevel it out. So I will apply the same process here as well, and I am not going to record this part while making it. So see you after this part is completed. So I have completed this part while off the recording, and one thing you should know that I have selected all the edge loops here and then subdivided it once. So by that way I have got more edges to make it like the reference image. Now I have to align these two parts in the middle. So for that I will select this part first and then scale it down a bit first. Then come back to this part here and right click, go to snap and then select cursor to selected, and then come back to this part and then go to snap and then selection to cursor, so it will just align with it, and then you can just move it outside to match it with the reference image. So that's the end of the first part of the tutorial, and we will be making this on the second part of the tutorial, so make sure you watch that part. And if this video is helpful to you, please like, share and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. Thank you and have a nice day.